happy, and then we'll get a bunch of cool projects from somebody who's really interesting and smart.
I wish Kojima nothing but the best for success, but I also would love to see him kind of like take on more of like a executive producer type role and really just elevate cool ideas that come from within his team. Because I think that's I think they did kind of like a like throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks approach when they were designing Metal Gear Solid 2, and that's why that game was so out there in terms of what it was attempting and doing. But yeah, let's shift gears here. Message, which we've heard rumored.
Ça va.
Just go play this.
No, I'm not at all. This is, I mean, it's like, this is the thing. I want the remake. I think that's, I'm speaking for most Silent Hill fans. We want this remake. Stop giving us Silent Hill Ascension. Stop giving us all these things that are tangentially related. Stop giving us those, what do they call, pachinko machines? Give us what we actually want. This is what I want. Silent Hill 2. That's what I want.
Yeah, no, the core of this psychological horror is familiarity and like the comforting thing that we know well. No, yes. I'm teasing. But like, what's your read on this? Does this seem, compared to Ascension, does this grab you more? Compared to PT,
100%.
Does this look more like Silent Hill?
100%. I would say this is definitely a step in the right direction. I feel like this is what we should have gotten initially over the Ascension project that we received.
Félicitations ce job.
A bit of a laughing stock on the internet and amongst fans. But this I think this is like a good palate cleanser coming off of that. I mean, I'm down to play this for sure. Again, just as a horror fan in general, I want to play this off rip.
I like these kind of shorter experiences that kind of give maybe new fans a chance to kind of like dive in, learn something about the story, maybe a little bit about the gameplay. It's going to be obviously different than the core Silent Hill 2 remake gameplay loop, but kind of gets you like into the world of Silent Hill with this, which is kind of a good, for people who maybe didn't get a chance to play Silent Hill when it was big on the PS1 era. Like that's when Silent Hill was really big. PS1 and PS2. Like there's a lot of people who maybe never played Silent Hill unless they played like one of the remakes or collections that came out on like the PS3 era. But like it's good to get these kind of like new experiences. It also lets them test new things that we haven't maybe seen, that hey, maybe this doesn't work in the full game, but it's a cool idea. It might work in a shorter experience. So I'm kind of for these smaller things.
Yeah, but I feel like one of the things that the Silent Hill franchise, I feel like I've spoken on this when we first got that big announcement of all these games. Like one of the things that's kind of lacking in just like the Silent Hill universe is just like these recognizable characters. Like you look at the Resident Evil series, so many different characters that we recognize. We got the Chris Redfields, we got the Jill Valentines. There's so many. So I think the thing as like a hardcore Silent Hill fan that's just like kind of just irking me a little bit is just these games and these experiences that we're getting. It's just like it's just in name, and of course it takes place in Silent Hill. But I want to play as some of the characters that I remember, when I picked up my PlayStation 1 and started playing it initially. Obviously not a continuation, but again, like Silent Hill 2, that's a remake. So we're revisiting this character, in the same, place that we remember. It's just, with a different coat of paint on it. I don't know. For me, that's what I'm looking. That's what I want. That's why, give me Silent Hill 2.
As soon as we're done here, you can go and sort of whet your appetite for Silent Hill 2 by checking this out. I'm definitely wary of a Konami project that ends with like free to play, and I'm hoping that means it's more of like a PT thing where it's just like a weird encapsulated experience rather than like I don't know how you would monetize this experience here, but like you gotta pay to get the roaches off your head or whatever, like whatever they're doing. But I'm definitely curious. I'm sure people are going to be, picking this apart. But let's talk Silent Hill 2 because that's the big one. That's the one that everyone loves. We got a good proper look at what this game looks like.
Ma che bello è quello.
Leaks. There was a teaser. It's Bloober Team, which they've done a bunch of horror games that have all like very clearly an homage to the Silent Hill games. I think it was the medium had like the same composer. Like it was they've been auditioning for this. It kind of feels like how Larian was with Baldur's Gate. Like they're working their way up to tackling this classic. Akeem, as a Silent Hill 2 fan, like what did the new footage look like? Did it grab you?
Ooh, it looked so good. It looked really, really. I was like, yes, this is what I want. When they showed that, I was like, yes. Can we skip all the BS that y'all have been giving us? I don't mean to call it BS. I'm sorry to say that because I love Konami, but I want this. This is what we want.
For like 11 years, we got pachinko machines and Dead by Daylight
Yes.
skins. It's okay to call it BS. It's fine.
It looks so beautiful. I mean, seeing James, obviously we just see the back of his head and his body, but like, I mean, like he's wearing that iconic jacket. Again, this is what the fans want. You know, we want to return to this place with these characters that we remember playing so long ago. And like, it's just beautiful. I like the trailer that we got many months ago. Obviously, it's gonna look glossy. It's gonna, it's cinematic. It didn't actually give us gameplay, but like looking at this, looking at the monster you get to fight, like some of these look kind of new. Like there was one that we just saw that looked like it was a woman. I guess she was walking on her hands, and that right there, it's like her feet are in the air. I don't recall seeing that, but you know.
I think that's what you were supposed to be seeing in the original, but the graphics weren't good enough.
It was just
Now
it was just limbs back then. That's all you could make out.
Now, Jada and Brian, you both are pretty diehard Resident Evil fans, and like the problem with this is that Capcom set a unrealistically high bar with what the recent RE remakes have been like. How do you feel about this? Do you think is it moving the needle for you, Jada?
It's not. I've never been a huge Silent Hill fan. Like they're good experiences. I enjoy them for what they are, but they've never been that. It's never been the franchise that's just like, oh, I can't wait for the next Silent Hill. Like, when are we getting new Silent Hill games? When are we gonna like? When can I play the remaster for this one? Like, it's never been that franchise for me. But I know it is very, very much that for a lot of people that do love that franchise. So I do hope that this one is moving the needle for them. But I don't know. It's not drawing me in as somebody who's not a huge fan of the franchise already.
I'm incredibly excited for this, but I'm as excited as somebody can be for something that's still
Boh, lo vedrò dopo.
like the trailer ended and it said in development, and we don't have a year. And Akeem, I think you nailed it before with like sort of like this kind of machine gun scattershot approach to this franchise that went dormant for so long and then came back and was like, here's 7 different projects that are not necessarily really connected in any meaningful way, and not really what people are doing. Like this, that we're getting an awesome little make good, nice kind of boosh appetizer onto the main course over here, but like, where's the release date here? I'm happy to see this, but like, you have to keep in mind, remake, I feel like that was announced and then released within 6 months after that. We got
Sono io e lui.
DLC. That was a fully
È lui.
feature complete package with they added, mercenaries.
È lui.
As a hardcore
C'è problemi d'audio, non io.
I went from game
Fanculo che mi fa prendere male.
to platinuming it and beating all the DLC year and a half. And so I don't want to rush the game development here, but like, I don't want this to be something that like we check in on this game every 6 months to a year for several more years. It's showcases. Like I just want to play it.
I mean, that's one thing Capcom really having a good cadence for balance.
Non è che è fastidioso.
With like the new one, with the remake. Also,
I should probably.
don't know.
I was gonna say I should probably mention this too. Now this has been rumored. It's not confirmed, but they're also working to movie. So I know some of the rumors online that have been floating around is that they're gonna try to release this around the same time as the movie, and I don't think we have a date as to when we can expect the movie in theaters.
I watched the original movie just a few days ago, actually, which was like really interesting because there's a lot in that movie that is very, very early 2000s schlocky horror movie, but there's some
Perché
interesting
sto cosa?
design and set pieces in that
Cazzo
movie.
di OBS,
I think
te l'ho
it's on
tolto,
Netflix,
minchia di
totally
cose.
watchable for like a dumb 90 minutes to spend watching
So
that.
the director of that is directing the new one, Return to Silent Hill.
Yeah.
And apparently it's shot already, which is like I could see them having it in the can and holding it until if they want to line it up with a video game. Like it's a weird flip from how it used to be, where a video game would have to get rushed out to come out alongside the movie.
Yeah.
But I can't help but wonder if Sony's pushing this like right now we know about more PlayStation productions, movies, and shows than we do about PlayStation Studios games. And Sony obviously makes a lot of money from movies. Like it's not like a little fledgling industry. Like it makes sense that they would want to kind of leverage existing IP that they have into something bigger. Unclear if Sony would have anything to do with that, but like that's again, like on the Silent Hill front, that's they've got it sitting around, and I mean, I could also see a Silent Hill sequel not being the biggest budget thing to make ever.
I have to imagine they're waiting to capitalize on maybe Halloween this year.
Ay, ay,
Because
ay.
they put it on their website. This is the second time they've shown Silent Hill 2 in one of their. We had that earlier, like, hey, 24 PlayStation. Here's a bunch of. And Silent Hill 2 was in there. And they
Se sente
said
di merda.
it was on their 24 releases. So I think they're just waiting till Halloween to capitalize on that, spooky time of year, to maximize sales.
Yeah. Well, I really hope that that Konami can pull it off. Yeah. Konami doesn't have them sometimes, and people love to get mad at them. It would just be cool for Silent Hill fans to actually really up to their high expectations. Now, shifting gears, what we've sort of known about for a bit which is Ken Levine's new thing, but also it's kind of BioShock. What did we think of all this, Jade?
I'm very hyped for Judas after that trailer. Like, before now, nothing had really excited me. This looks like the kind of BioShock game that I've been waiting for. Since the first BioShock was fine, Infinite was okay, but it has the potential to be that next, true successor to the original BioShock. I cannot wait for this one. The action looks good, the abilities look fun. It's just very wacky and just cheeky with how they care. So we'll see what that kind of looks like as we get to see more down the year or later this year, as they show more of it. But I'm actually pretty excited now.
I'm morbidly curious about this. It's been over a decade since Infinite came out, and Ken Levine famously left the franchise, started a new studio,